A little test I've set up of a couple of tablets, and it's a good one because it compares x86 against ARM quite nicely. On the left is obviously the iPad, which runs the A4 CPU, which uses an ARM V7 architecture, which is the latest architecture at 1 GHz. It's a single core CPU. On the right, this is the ViliV X70, which runs 1.3 GHz Intel Atom CPU. And it's a single core CPU with hyper threading. Now what I've done on this one is knocked it down to 800 megahertz, and I'm using a Google Chrome browser, so it's a WebKit based browser on this, and of course Safari on this side. And I'm choosing the TechMeme River for a random set of web pages so that we can get some sort of idea of web page load times. Google Chrome includes Flash. I can't turn that off unless I use a plugin. So basically we're comparing a non-Flash enabled browser with a Flash enabled browser. So let's go down the list to some new stuff here. This isn't a comparison of user interfaces or anything like that. This is just comparison of ability to process web pages. It's a good indication of CPU power. Resistive touchscreen on the right and capacitive on the left. So let's try the first one. So both very close to actually start. Oh, sorry, no touch scroll on this side. Very close, both of them to actually start to show the information. In fact, almost the same time. This one's finished loading the page and this one's just finished loading the page. Right, let's go back. Google Chrome on XP here. This is XP Home underneath here, sorry. Obviously caches the previously viewed page, whereas the iPad takes that out of the cache and reloads it, which is significant if you're going back back on pages a lot. So let's try the next one, see how we get. iPad brings up very quickly the text there. They're still loading. That one's finished, the X70 is finished, and the iPad's just finished now. So pretty close with the iPad being able to show the text. Just, whoops, I've just closed that. With the iPad being able to show the text a lot more quickly. Test here. Let's have a look. 3, 2, 1, go. Well, very close there, neck and neck to actually start showing the text. Still loading on the right. Just both finished at the same time, exactly the same. Remember, this is loading Flash as well. Let's see if there's any Flash content. Yes, we've got a Flash advert on the right. That is about it. So it did manage to load the Flash in the same time as the iPad loaded the non-Flash page. And again, waiting for the iPad to reload that page here. Right, let's take the next one down. These are all clearly random websites. I'm not haven't set anything up here. ViliV showing that web page much quicker there. I suspect there's a network issue. Has slowed down the iPad there. That's finished on the right, just finished on the left. I wouldn't put that delay down to the iPad. I would assume that was a network issue there. Let's try the next one. As we go through, we're going to get an idea of pretty much how they're performing. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, exactly the same. Both loaded at the same time, both finished at the same time. Both extremely fast there. That was a very simple web page. Let's just wait for the iPad to get back to where it should be. Right, and go. iPad leading there. And let's have a look at the iPad finished. ViliV X70 still going. Now this is Engadget, and there's a ton of Flash stuff on there. There's a Flash ad at the top. There's a Flash ad on the right. There is embedded video all over this page. So that was the difference in that one. If I was able to switch off flash, I think that would have been a better a better result for the X70 there. So remember, 1 GHz A4, 800 MHz Atom. Right, next one is PC World website, and there it is. 3, 2, 1. ViliV leading there, iPad trailing slightly. Let's see who finishes first. The ViliV has finished and the iPad has finished now. One flash ad there on the right, no embedded videos. So even with the flash, it managed to finish a bit quicker there. So that's after 5 or 6 websites there. You can see they're pretty evenly matched, the 800 MHz to the 1 GHz. In fact, you could argue that this is processing a lot more because of the flash. But let's now switch this to 1.3 GHz, because what I want to do is try and highlight how the Moorestown platform, with its 1.5 GHz top end clock rate, and there's kind of a turbo mode that won't be used all the time, but it will be able to kick in for loading websites. And this is going to give us an idea now how Moorestown based devices would compete against what is currently one of the fastest ARM based web browsers on the market. So let's go. 3, 2, 1. And pretty quick there, although that's finished. Slightly ahead, no flash content there, and it's a fairly small website. Both sites acceptably quick. And the next one, let's wait for the iPad to restore itself. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I missed it on the ViliV. We need to try the next one. Let's try the next one. There we go. Right, there you can see that's way ahead on the X70. That's done. No, it's not quite done. In fact, it looks like the iPad might beat it to finish. No, that's done. This one's still going. But interesting, flash at the top. Embedded flash video. Of course, that's not a that isn't flash, is it? That's just the YouTube player. Right, back for the next test. And this is switched. 1, 2, 3, go. Again, much quicker on the right hand side here. And that's finished, that's finished. Any flash? Flash looks like it could be a flash ad at the top, maybe not. Some flash video here. So really beating the device. What I want to do now, is switch to Firefox on the X70, because Firefox, on this I've disabled the flash. So let's go to the TechMeme website, bring that up, and then go again to the river, bring this back here. There we go. Wow, the X70 bringing up the text a lot quicker. That's finished, that's finished. Only about half a second in that one, so nothing that users would really notice. Right then, 3, 2, 1. iPad ahead, pretty well matched. Done. iPad still loading. Done. And let's see if there's any flash content. There's a flash ad there, and that's about it. Nothing major in terms of flash on that. And then we'll take the next one here. Oops. Okay, started the iPad half a second later. Clearly the X70 is way ahead there. And one more, let's choose one more here. Let's wait for the iPad to catch up. Okay, and the X70 way ahead again. So in this, I guess real world random test, remember this is 1.3 gigahertz and not the 1.5 that the Moorestown platform would have. What we're seeing actually on both platforms is what I would call an acceptable speed, where web pages are loading in an average under 10 seconds, which is about the cut-off point, I would say, where customers start to get start to notice that web browsers get slow. And interestingly enough, the user experience on the iPad is better than on the X70. Now I would say that despite the higher speed on the Intel platform here, that users are going to choose something like the iPad experience even if it's a little bit slower. So important then for Intel, Moorestown and its partners to get the browser optimized, to get the user experience optimized. Leave the flash in there. Of course, this is a multitasking operating system as well. There's loads of other stuff going on in the background. And they should come out on top in terms of mobile platform browsing speeds during the end of 2010, 2011. So my name's Steve Payne, Chippy from CarryPad and UMPC Portal. Thanks for watching the test.